Right. Hi all. This is me doing a demo for the boots. In particular, this part here at the bottom, we're going to model the boots for this. So let's start straight away. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get as a cube. So press A. Right. Let's just bring this down. Let's just change the sizing a bit. So I'm gonna select the cube. In my channel box here, in the inputs, I'm gonna change the width, and I'm gonna use my middle mouse button for this, while also holding control so that I don't have big increments. So middle mouse button and control, hold that, and let's just shape it so that it looks like our character here is wearing a cube for a shoe. Eventually this will become the boots for our spaceman here. Alright, that seems good enough. Perhaps maybe the width can be, sorry, that's not it. Maybe the depth can be lessened a bit. Alright, looks okay. Yeah, not too bad. Press A just to see the relation between that and this. Pressing F again to focus to frame on this box, and we're gonna add the subdivision here. So I'll say maybe I need, I don't know, 4, 5. Lesser would be better. So I'll just stick to 4, and I'll add it later on. And I probably need maybe just 2, 2 is good. And I'll add some more here. I'll say 3 is good there. Is it good? I'm not so sure. Maybe I'll say, let's just make it 3 here. Yeah. So it's a 433 cube. Sweet. We're gonna get ourselves a cylinder now. So I'm gonna get a cylinder. Let's press F, and that's our cylinder there. We're going to drop the radius a bit, like so. Let's just position everyone where they should be. Drop the height a bit. Radius could be dropped a bit more, and it's not too bad. Bring it down a bit more, perhaps. Something like that. Height can be lessened a bit. We want it to be kind of there, perhaps. Right. Seems like it's not too bad. Let's just I'm gonna make it position with the cube instead of I'll think about lining it later. This is not that bad anyway. All right, so what we're gonna do is eventually we're going to make a hole. We need 2 holes in order for this to connect to bridge properly. So what I will do is just move you out of the way for a bit. Select this guy. I'll go to face mode. I'll select these 6 faces here. Right? I'm gonna delete this guy. That becomes our hole for us to bridge on this cube. So let's count the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means this cylinder here needs to be 10 subdivisions by the hole. So I'm gonna go here and I'll say subdivision. Let's just drop that down to 10, as you can see here. You can also enter value if you wanted to. Alright, that looks okay. And let's just make that hole underneath here. So I'm gonna select these faces at the bottom. I tend to do this. I select all and I hold control, click and drag, and that subtracts the selection. Press 4 just to double check that that's what you want to be deleted, and press delete on your keyboard. Alright, sweet, that looks okay. Go to object mode. Let's just bring this down a bit more. What we're gonna do now is we wanna bridge these two. In order for us to bridge, they need to be the same mesh. So I'll select one, Control Shift, select the other guy, go to mesh, let's combine it. Sweet, now it's one object. Go to Windows Outliner, you see that that's one thing, as you can see here. Alright, when it's already one mesh, then you can go to Edge Mode. You can Control Shift and double click that, so it selects the whole ring. Control Shift, double select that, selects that ring. Just double check, make sure that's what we want. Press 4 if you're unsure, and then only then can we actually go to Edit Mesh and Bridge. Let's go to the options and see what we got. This looks okay. I'll just reset everything and hit apply. Yeah, that looks kind of correct. But if you're not happy with it, you know, you can always play with the bridge offset a bit. I know, maybe that's better. It's up to you. I just noticed something. Maybe I should have like rotated the cylinder. So I'm gonna undo that. And we can do this very quickly. You don't need to extract it again. I'll just select this bunch of cylinders. Before I bridge, I want to rotate this guy, and it's much easier if I use the top view for that. So I'll go to top view, press 4. What I want to do is kind of align it. Oh, maybe I should hold my J button on my keyboard so it snaps. Almost. I'll just eyeball this so that it looks like that. Alright, let's go back to our perspective view. Right, press 5. Kind of aligns. These two faces are now facing each other. Alright. And then I can go back to Edge Mode. Control Shift, double click that. Control Shift, double click that. It selects both rings. And I'll go to Edit Mesh and Bridge again. Doesn't really give you a nice effect, so we gotta play with the bridge offset a bit. See if that kind of does the trick. Ah, that's better. 10. 10 is a good value. Perfect. We can also add divisions here if you wanted to. I'll say I don't want that. I'll just keep it like this for now. Alright, I'm happy with this. Now's the time to shape this feet to make it look like a feet. And that involves a lot of point pushing, a lot of selecting vertices and doing something like that. We can do 2 at the same time if you want it, or more. So I'll just, drop this guy down maybe. Bring it in like that maybe. Unselect this guy now. Bring it down even more maybe. Bring it here a bit. Unselect this guy. Maybe bring this in perhaps. Right. So we're gonna continue shaping this guy. Maybe I'll select this edge. And maybe it's time that I go quiet now and focus on what I'm trying to do. So well, that's normally how it is. It's hard to do 2 things at one time. So just watch. Sometimes we go edge mode, sometimes we go vertex mode. Let's just shape it that way. Yeah, it feels better. Right. I think I know what I want to do. I want to bring it in a bit more. Perhaps do something like that. And you gotta spend the time to do this. It can take a long time to do this, but you just keep on tweaking the vertex until it looks like the shape that you want. That looks odd. Shouldn't be like that. So at times if you think you did something, you can just squash them using the scale tool and do something like that perhaps. Alright. Bring that down maybe. I'll just bring this whole thing down perhaps. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Maybe I got this wrong. Let's just do that. Yeah. If I get bored with the front part, I'll just, head on to the back. Gives me a set of fresh things to do. I know, maybe this guy is good. Like that. And this guy's too, why not? Press 4 just to double check. You here perhaps. There are times I just feel like, doing something like that. Easier to select my vertices sometimes. And to tell you the truth, I don't know where this is going yet. I'm just shaping it bit by bit until it actually gives me the look. Something. Until it gives me something. Alright, I'm gonna kind of start bringing it down a bit maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll just select this face and make it go up. Rotate it a bit perhaps. Maybe select this whole edge loop. Bring it in maybe. This whole thing maybe. Whole ring. Squash it down perhaps. Okay, things are starting to look funny from the side. So I'm gonna select these guys here. I'll just go to right view, select all that, right? And let's just squash it down so that it's nice and flat. It's too much perhaps. And trust me, it does take a long time to do this, but you'll get there. You just lion, go with the flow, push here and there a bit, keep on turning the mesh around, see what that gives you. Just push these guys out a bit perhaps. Yeah, I'll just squash it down a bit so we get more shape going on there. Yes, the text looks like it could go in. Tell you what, this is totally flat. So we're going to set this guys maybe. Careful not to select more than you need. What you need. Right, if you notice the way I do it, I kind of Now I look at it from one side and I look at it from the other, and normally that kind of helps to kind of judge what you're gonna do with the vertex. I'm gonna flatten this guy. That would be the kind of the base where I'll extrude it out later on. Certainly this could be widened a bit. We can probably, squash these guys. Right, I want to shape the sole a bit. It's much easier to use this. I'll say that's a better way of shaping it. Now that I think of it, maybe these guys, all of them could be squashed down, and something like that. See, you see that, sometimes I select this or that. Why not select both, like so? Right, it looks too white here. So let's just bring it in a bit more. No, I just want this guy. Alright, it seems more like a shoe, like a boot. That seems like it could be here a bit. Yeah, certainly. When you see things that are looking kind of straight like that, it's a good idea to kind of give it a more curvy shape. And it's kind of doing that. Let's just push it here a bit so it's nice and rounded there. This guy, bring it up a bit perhaps. Go here. I could use more roundness. Yeah, certainly. There maybe. Right. Perhaps it's time to look at it from by pressing 3, but hold on, I just don't want to do that yet. Still feel like, certainly room for me to tweak it even more before I look at the subdivision preview. Yeah, it feels much better. I'll just select this guy maybe. Alright. That doesn't feel right. So I'll tell you what, I'll just set these guys. We'll squash it slightly. Maybe. And this guys could be squashed a bit more. Yeah, better. And this guys too. Squash it that way. Should I squash it this way? Nah. That vertex looks very straight, so let's just round it a bit. That guy too as well. You're looking at this side, there should be a curve. Ideally, if you spin the model, turn the model on all sides, it should look nice and curvy. This is not too bad, I guess. Some of you might feel that, why don't we look at the subdivision preview now? So I think I'll do just that. Alright, right mouse button, press 3. Alright, it's starting to take a shape of a boot, certainly. Certainly some parts that we can improve on it. In particular, let's see now. Yeah, probably these parts here. That looks very much straight, so we're gonna expand that a bit. This feels like it could go here, bring it down a bit so that it's nice and curvy there. Why not? Maybe this guy too. Looks a bit funny sitting there. Yeah, it seems like it should go that way. Keep on working, like I say, you're gonna get there. The more I look at it, looks like could use one more edge loop. So I'll just bring this up, squash it down, and I'll use my cut tool, hold C control there, so like that. Let's just squash it down maybe. I know it's gonna look odd, but I guess that's just me experimenting and seeing whether that gives me a better look or not. I feel like, I just want to make that nice and straight at the back. That guy could use some more nicer, it's kind of, I want it to kind of flow like that. And maybe this vertex could be lifted that way. That guy too, perhaps. Certainly, perhaps, go down a bit more. Select parts that needs to be rounded off a bit more, like that. This guy could be pushed a bit more. Alright, here's another one. Could be a bit more rounded, perhaps like that. Alright, not too bad, press 3. Alright, there you have it. A boot. Although, it doesn't really look like a boot until you give it more features. But before that, it feels like, I just want to push the look a bit more, make that a bit more prominent. Ooh, ugly. Right. More caricature. Alright. And now's the time to kind of pull things out a bit. But I think I want to, with these things here, maybe it's a good idea to kind of straighten them a bit more. In particular the ones that don't look like, like they're doing what we want it to. Like this guy, it's a bit saying it. That feels nicer. Certainly. I'll say that this is okay. And I'm gonna go to face mode, select that whole loop, that whole band of faces. And we're gonna use our extrude tool. Go to edit mesh, extrude. Just wanna double check this, reset that settings, hit apply. I'll close that, I'll just use this window and I'll increase the thickness a bit. And I'm also holding control when I did that. Alright, I'll say that's kind of okay. We're gonna do a simple boot. I'm not gonna, be too fussy about all that. Might need a bit of bevel there. So I think I'll do a bevel. So I'm gonna Go to the bevel options, reset that settings, hit apply. Alright, we're getting that for now. Let's just drop the fraction a bit more. Right, and maybe add one segment to it. Alright, not too bad. Happy, press Q. Alright, get the cut tool. I'm gonna hold that edge there. That's supposed to be hard there. So this should hold the edge already, but I'll just add one more maybe, so it looks nice and hard there. I want to hold the edge here as well, so I'll just add one more here. And tell you what, let's see, what if I kind of expand on that a bit, something like that. And why not this one too, just to see what we get, because it looks ugly at the back there. Does it? It might not. Press 3. It's not too bad. It's a bit cartoony, but yeah, it's not too bad. Some parts are a bit, how to say, it's not really giving me a nice look. Actually, I think it's too cartoony, so I'm gonna drop it down a notch. And this one too as well. And this was looking quite straight, so let's just kind of, let's just do that. Press 4, I don't want that. Press 5. Let's just pull it out a bit more. Rotate it perhaps so that it has a bit more roundness to it. Yeah, something like that. Certainly that could use more work. I can do one of two things, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'll just select those guys and we'll just bring them in maybe, and we gotta tweak this edges here, pull it out again. Maybe it looks nice if I did this. This one too, maybe. That vertex is actually jutting out. These guys too, perhaps. Right, you go here a bit. Right mouse button, press 3. Much better. I'm happy with this. Sweet. Okay, let's do the last part. The edges are looking good as well. Let's do the final part here. I'll get my cut tool, hold control. I'm gonna kind of, lift this up a bit so that it has a bit more features to it. Control E for extrude. I'll use the thickness and to kind of expand that a bit. Feels better if, I don't know. These things could be flattened a bit more, so I'll use my scale and squash it down so that it's nice and flat. Bring it down a bit more. Scale it down a bit, perhaps. Yeah, not too bad. We need a hole there somewhere. I'll go edge mode, select these guys, bring it a bit in a bit more. Okay, here's where we kind of align things a bit. I'll just select the whole thing and I'll say, push it there a bit, push it forward a bit, perhaps. Like that. Where is our knee? Oh, it's there. Alright, so I think I'll just bring all of you down, kind of below the knee there. Alright, about there. Press 5, because I can't see what I'm working on. That looks not too bad. Press object mode, get to object mode. Go here, go there a bit. Yeah. Okay, we need an opening for this thing if you want to make it more realistic, I guess. So let's just get the right mesh. I want the ones in the middle like that. Alright, Control E. I'll use my thickness to bring it in. If you're fussy about this, you can actually move it there. You don't really have to, but it doesn't hurt. Why not? So I'm just eyeballing that. Something like that. I want to add a bit more features to this thing, so I'll add another edge loop. Go to my edge mode, select that guy, bring it up a bit. We want it to kind of hold that shape, but before that I'll just bring it down a bit. We squash it a bit more, and I'll add one more edge loop here, bring it up a bit maybe, and we need one more edge loop here to kind of hold the shape a bit. Certainly we need it here and there maybe. Let's see, let's press 3 and see what we get. Alright, we'll see, we'll say this is okay. I'm okay with this. Kind of looks, you know, solid and nice. Structure to it. That does look a bit funny. We'll just do this as a final touch. We'll bring that out perhaps here a bit, maybe here a bit. Alright, sweet, much better. And voila, you have your boot. See you in the next video where we'll do our gloves next. Bye bye.